Good morning, grandkids. I have something different for all of you today. A gentleman by the name of Andrew Smith contacted me by email and asked me if I would like to review their new magazine publication. And he sent me the magazine, which is issue 1, and I really enjoyed it. I've read it through 2 or 3 times. The name of the magazine is From Gamers. I even like the cover picture. It says powered by Guidefall. That means it was published by Guidefall. And Andrew Smith is the editor-in-chief of this magazine. He owns this, and he owns Guidefall, the publisher of the magazine. These are articles and reviews of games that are written by gamers. And if you get on their email list, they send out emails to invite you to write an article. And you can pitch to the magazine some idea that you'd like to write about, and they will look at it and either approve it or not. There will probably be a lot of pitches sent to them by you gamers out there. This is what this magazine is for. It's a platform for gamers so that they can have a voice. Things they want to say, things they want to review about games, things that are of interest to them personally. And they can write about this. Also, if what they require is that you have a good concept of English and that you are able to put your thoughts together. But if you aren't a really good writer, you don't have to have a background in writing or anything. They will help you. You have to have the idea and know what you want to say. But to me, it'd be much more fun to write my own article. And I'm going to be pitching an article to them because I really have things that I would like to say as a gamer. So we will see what comes of that. The first thing I want to say about this magazine, about it actually, is the cover. This is a very solid, thick cover. And it's bound well. The inside pages are relatively thick also. It isn't like a flimsy magazine. This is a keeper. I've subscribed, and as they come, I'm going to be keeping them like a collection so that I can keep looking back through it whenever I want to. First of all, at the very beginning is a letter from the editor-in-chief, which is Andrew Smith. And I actually wanted to read a couple of excerpts out of his article. For one thing, he says, you probably noticed that as online media has become more and more accessible, the overall tone of games media has shifted, which is true. I remember buying gaming magazines. It's become less personal and more about getting as many clicks as possible. With that, a lot of stories about what makes video games special have gone away. The first part of the mission of From Gamers is to bring back the passionate voice that's gone missing and to talk about video games in a more personal and intimate way that can't be found on the internet. That is so true. The second part of our mission is to help print media survive a little bit longer. This is the main thing that intrigued me when he contacted me, because I love magazines and I love books. I love the paper. You'd never catch me with a reader in my hand or listening to one of these digital things that let you listen to somebody else read you a book. Nah, that's not for me. I like to feel the paper and smell the paper even. There was a time when gaming magazines ruled the industry. They were the go-to places for the latest news, reviews, guides, and more. But now that all of that information is available with a simple click, so many great magazines have called it quits or moved online, and it's a shame to see. That really caught my attention because I used to buy PC Gamer magazine all the time, and in the back, I think on the very back page inside, they had a cellophane that they had then was cellophane window with or sleeve with a demo game in it, and I got a lot of my starter games that way, playing the demos to see if I'd like it, which I thought was really, really cool. Then, of course, the young people started slitting the sleeve and stealing the demo out of it, and that's when everything was on CDs. So they stopped doing that. Now I don't even know if that magazine exists anymore. I haven't looked for it for a long time. He goes on to say at the end, in addition, we've got an incredible cover story focused on Arcane's Deathloop, a game I cannot wait to get my hands on. So that's what Andrew Smith is waiting for. I'll show you that one. You're going to enjoy reading these articles and reviews. Here's one on Hood, Outlaws and Legends. The artwork for the pictures are really good. And here is The Last of Us Part 2. Look at the sinister looking artwork. So there's a bunch of articles in here, and then you come to, you gotta see this one too. This is the history of Far Cry. And there's little short articles on each one of the games. At the end of this, I'll tell you why I'm not doing this with the GoPro out on my patio. A couple of pages farther on is a whole article on just the newer Far Cry 6. And I wanted to bring your attention to this. These are all through the book. At the end of these game articles, and it says, scan the QR code to check out the official trailer, and it gives the name of each game. Like this one says the official Far Cry 6 trailer. So you'll get that all through the book. Then we come to some reviews of games, and at the end of each one, these are written very well. They're very professional. This whole magazine is very professional. And at the end of their reviews, each one gives their pros and cons. They sort of sum up their article that they wrote. Like this one, well, let me read another one. On Monster Hunter Rise, his pros and cons, he says, unique, memorable, new monsters, smooth wire bug mechanic, new rideable pets. And his con, rampages are often a hassle. Meta systems can be daunting. Now, when I got to the end, this was the article that I enjoyed the most. If you are a new budding game developer, you should read this article. Oh, well, I mean, all of you gamers should, but especially someone who's wanting to start out in game development. Press Reset was written by Jason Schreier. He also wrote a book, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. And this was reviewed by Jake Free. And it says at the top, the Press Reset Review, the exasperating cycle of the video games industry. And I wanted to read you a couple of things out of this, too. This is the reviewer talking. Press Reset is an eye-opening look at the games industry that reveals a disturbing cycle of layoffs and crunch. And I've often read about some big layoffs in the game industry. It goes like this. A developer starts making a game. The developer gets picked up by a company to help fund the game. Then the company takes over majority control of the game, which would make me livid because it's my game. More often than not, this cycle results in the company making decisions that lead to mass layoffs, leaving the developer with no choice but to come up with an idea for a new game, putting everyone right back to step one. This just... I would be so unhappy. I wouldn't even try to do another game, but you guys press forward. So this whole article was really, really good. And I've read it more than one time. I've read the whole book more than one time. So the thing is, let me look through my notes here. For one thing, you're going to have to go to the website, which is fromgamers.net. And From Gamers is all one word. Fromgamers.net. This is the interesting thing about the title of this magazine, the fact that it's From Gamers, not for gamers. It is for gamers, but the articles are from gamers. I like that. And there you will be able to find the information for pitching an article to them, what types of articles they might be wanting for that particular issue. Right now, they are open for the second issue, which I think is coming around in the end of this month, the 30th. So you'd have to get online and go to their website and pitch them whatever idea you have in mind that you'd like to write about, whatever game, and read what it is that they are looking for right now for their next issue. Let me see. I think that I have mentioned everything that I wrote notes about. I think it's really great that they have in the magazine those scanning codes that you can use to get the trailer for these different games that's discussed in there. Oh, and if you subscribe to the magazine, they said that if you use the gaming code Shirley, you'll get 10% off your subscription. I went and subscribed, and I didn't even look around on the page to see where it says enter code. So I don't know if I could have used my name or not. That would have been interesting to find out. So be sure to get on their mailing list, their email mailing list, because that's how they send out information to the gamers to ask for articles and so on. Now, since this is the end of my review, even though it's not in the magazine, I shall give you my pros and cons. My pros are, I love the magazine's cover thickness. It's thick and strong, and it's a keeper. I enjoyed the artwork throughout the magazine, and I found the articles very professional and very interesting. Otherwise, I couldn't have read through it so many times. For one thing, most of the games in there are not my kind of games at all. But it made everything very interesting to me to read, especially that press reset article. Now the cons, for me, I have two. I didn't quite like the thickness and smoothness of the inside pages, because some of the artwork didn't seem to print on that type paper too well. I didn't think. Maybe it's my old eyes, but I just thought inside pages was a little too thick and slick. But that's just me. But the other thing is that did disappoint me is that they could have invited submissions and told where and how to submit in the magazine, and there was no place in there that said. I had to ask, then go hunt. So be sure to go to fromgamer.net to get the information. It would be nice if they put even just a quarter of a page up in a corner with that information in the magazine for the gamers who are reading the magazine to see and be aware of. Because they'll be saying, so where do I go? How do I do this? I would like to submit an article. So I really do think that should be in the magazine. So that's all I have to say. It is a great magazine. I am so glad a new magazine is starting. This is the first issue. So go online to their website and subscribe and think about what you would like to say. So that's all I have for you today, grandkids. I hope you enjoyed the review of the magazine, and I'm sure that if you get the magazine, you're going to enjoy it. I certainly did. Goodbye, grandkids. And goodbye, Andrew Smith.